How do you feel right now? I've been looking at the blogs, and Lawrence, you have a number of people saying it's incredible, the turnout across the country. We don't know if that is true yet, but we're hearing that.
Well, what we know is still roughly half of registered voters aren't going to show up, because that's the way we vote in this country. Which
is the tragedy of it all, because everyone's got an opinion.
I'm not sure how tragic it is. There's a certain rational component of not showing up, because the people who do show up, we always study them and we find out that they are generally a perfect representative sample of the people who stay home. So if everybody showed up, you'd still end up with roughly you'd end up with roughly the same results. But what that passivity tells you is that the country is not as invested in these outcomes as we pretend they are here in the news business.
Well, now you've just taken the wind out of
No. I mean, it's important, because people feel like this is a war and it's yes or no, and there's going to be a red state and a blue state, and there's all this, and it's really, America doesn't feel that way about it. America feels about it as a chance mostly to say no. The vote in 2008 was a no to the presidency of George W. Bush after 8 years. It was much more of a no than it was a yes to Barack Obama and whatever he wants to do. The vote, based on all the polling information we're looking at now, the vote we are likely to get tonight is going to be largely a no to what the Democratic Congress has been doing, but it's not a stop everything you're doing.
Sure.
Because we have this two-party system, the only way you get to inhibit Democrats is by voting for Republicans. And the only way you get to inhibit Republicans is by voting for Democrats. So swing voters go back and forth that way.
But Lawrence, I'm hearing more and more people say, well, does this mean, or ask the question, does this mean nothing gets done? Especially when you factor...
Yes, definitely means that, yeah.
And you factor in this new component, which is the Tea Party, and some of those candidates may very well win.
Yeah,
where does this really...
All governing is over until the next presidential election is complete, because, Mitch McConnell has said that his job now is to take out the president. The only difference between Mitch McConnell and everyone else who's been in his position in the past is he said it out loud. Every single majority leader and congressional leader has always believed their job is to take out the incumbent president if that president is in the other party. So McConnell's made it very apparent. I don't see anything that they can reach reasonable compromise on, with the possible exception of some kind of compromise on the top tax rates, where the Obama administration may be willing to extend them what they will call temporarily. Republicans will say no, we need them extended forever. They'll probably end up with a 2-year extension, but nothing else.
Well, that is the last word on News Nation, and we get it from the great Lawrence O'Donnell.
Generations from now, we will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when we began to provide care for the sick and put jobs to the jobless. This was the moment when the rise of the ocean began to slow and our planet began to heal. This was the moment when we ended the war and secured our nation and restored our image as the last best hope